What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814EDC, and today I am ready to bring you my full review slash overview of the Qvist Bladeworks Vanish prototype. So this is, of course, the little slip joint that Jacob over at Qvist Bladeworks designed, and it is currently in production with QSP knives, which I believe QSP has done everything that Jacob has produced so far from a production standpoint, excuse me. But yeah, I've had this in for about a week, probably a little over a week, and it's a cool knife, guys. It's small, has good walk and talk. Everything about it I've enjoyed for being kind of, I don't have a whole lot of experience with slip joints. The only slip joint that I have is the tactile turn bear. I don't really have any experience with other brands. I do want to get a Jack Wolf Knives slip joint in at some point in the future. I kind of, am late to the party on them, but I really don't have too much experience with slip joints. So you have to take everything I say, I guess, with a grain of salt, which I'm assuming you do anyway, for my knife reviews. But as far as I can tell you, and as far as I know with, my limited knowledge about slip joints, this thing is really good. It has great materials. The walk and talk from, my point of view is good. It has a good pull weight. It's basically a mini variant. It's the same design. You have the cutout here. It's a sway back design. You have the Wharncliffe blade with the tapered off handle back here, a lanyard hole. Of course, there's no liner lock or anything like that because there is a back spring here for a slip joint. Materials, I guess, while we're doing it. So you have 20 CV blade steel, which is nice. Hopefully you guys can pick that up. 20 CV. My lighting's not, I need to get some better lights in my room, guys, I know. But 20 CV right there on the blade tang. Full titanium construction. So these were a pre-order. I don't think that they are available right now. I know for a fact they're not available. The pre-order ended, I think, in December at some point. I believe he did a pre-order and then he did a Kickstarter. But I'm assuming he will get some extras ordered and he might do a drop of them for you guys. So there were two variants released, variants of the Vanish release. You have this all tie one with a stone wash. And then you also have the like the burnt bronze. If you guys have seen my video on the variant PE3 prototype, I had the bronzed, or the bronze anodized titanium with like the black wash blade. That is the other variant that they're doing on this one. And then if I remember correctly, I believe last I knew, Brian over at Blue Creek Knives is going to have a exclusive version of this. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I thought that's what he said, or I thought I saw it on Instagram. Granted, this has been out for, a few months, so I'm, again, late to the party on reviewing it. You guys have probably all seen stuff about it before. But, yeah, so you have solid titanium scales. This is coming from the website, and they are shipping early 2023. So if you did miss out on it, I would definitely, keep up with Jacob's Instagram and website, which I will leave linked down below, to see possibly if he's going to have more of these to do a drop. But solid titanium scales. You have T8 hardware all around. You have a 2.125 inch 20 CV blade. Overall length is 5.25 inches. A cutting edge of just over 2 inches, and this thing weighs 2 ounces. It's very lightweight. It's very small. And then I like how it says down here, designed in Minnesota and made in China, built by humans, for humans, by QSP Knives. I think that's a nice touch on the website. But so yeah, I think I went everything with materials. Just a really lightweight. I mean, like I said, it's 2 ounces. It's a small knife. Overall length is right around 5 1/4. But I can still get, all 4 fingers on there, which I'll touch in on the ergos. But yeah, so 20 CV stonewash blade, Wharncliffe. Obviously, this is a sway back. You have the standard tie handles there, lanyard tube, or lanyard hole, spring back here. It's covering the whole way, which is, prototypical for a slip joint. But yeah, so I think that's all for materials. So we will move on to action next. And then, like I said, I don't have a ton of experience with slip joints. So I don't, have a wide range of background with, walk and talks and pull strings and everything like that. But for here, you basically use the hole to open, of course. Pull up, you have a half stop right here, and then you fully come down in the open mode, and then so to me, like, this is fun. I've definitely, I'm not going to prefer this over, fidgeting with a folder, but I do believe that, once you get into it and once you, get used to how, each slip joint pulls, and because I actually heard Kevin over at Lefty EDC, excuse me, Lefty EDC mention this the other day when he was talking about the low drag jack from Jack Wolf. And Kevin would know because he's experienced every Jack Wolf so far, and quite a few other slip joints. But he said each slip joint has its own, type of feel to it, and you just kind of have to get used to it. And this definitely took me a little bit to get used to, because I'm not, in my brain, I'm used to like the finger or the nail niche or the nail notch or whatever, or a groove or something out here to be pulling on. So it took me a little bit to get used to pulling back here so close to like the pivot point. And if I'm being completely honest, it did feel a little bit awkward at first, just because you're getting a lot more pressure back here as opposed to normally pulling from up here. But that's just the way I looked at it. But then once, you sit down and you carry it and you fidget with it, you get used to your hand placement, as I just snapped myself on the finger. Your hand placement, you get used to it, you get muscle memory with it, and at this point in time, it's comfortable. Just don't do what I did and pinch yourself. But yeah, I want to give the pull a number, because I always hear like the pull being like a 7 or 8 out of 10. And I wish I could, because I want to give you guys that information, but I don't want to be faulty about it. I don't want to give you guys, I don't want to misinform you on something when I could say it's an 8 when really other people think it's like a 4. But the pull weight feels nice. It definitely has good tension to it, and it's, it's locked up very tight. Like, there's no blade play. Everything feels tight. The tolerances are good. So all in all, I believe the action is pretty damn good, especially for, a smaller slip joint, but good acoustics, I think, too. So overall, I believe the action and the walk and talk on this is pretty solid. So next up is Ergos. And for being a 5.25 overall length, and for having just over a 2-inch blade, I can really, still get a 4-finger grip on here. You have this nice area up here. It's the same for how I hold all the Qvist models that I've handled or had. My middle finger falls right into the groove right here. My pointer finger up here on top with the kind of the choil area, and then the rest just kind of falls in. Now, granted, I am, definitely kind of squished on here, but overall, it's still relatively comfortable. My pinky is kind of hanging on for dear life, but I've held worse. And especially for the size of this, you just kind of, I'm kind of amazed that, not that it's comfortable, because I think Jacob's design language in general and the way his designs feel for my hands have always been comfortable, especially just the way my middle finger kind of locks itself into there. And that provides a really good grip for the rest of my hand. But just for how small this knife is and for how comfortable it is in the hand, I'm not foreseeing this being a heavy user for anybody. To me, and for what my uses for this would be, and really probably with any slip joint, is it's going to be, a good letter opener, a good Amazon package opener, something you're just going to be, this would be good, in my opinion, if you're carrying like a bigger folder, or, a decent sized folder, and you didn't want to whip it out in public to open up something. You can just nonchalantly pull this out of your pocket, open it up. Like, people don't get afraid of slip joints. They really don't. Just because slip joints are like, that's what, knives used to be. Like, they're a very historic knife. They're a very, I guess I could say, accepted knife in the community, just because, people are used to them. Like, you're not going to, pull out something and middle finger flick it open and it's going to be all clanky and, give a good thud and be loud. And then you're going to, drop it and people are going to see that. No, you just pull this out, you open it up, you have good ergonomics for tearing into packages. I really like the pinch grip on here. You can kind of, I like to pinch it with my thumb and my middle finger, place my pointer finger up here for direction on the blade, and then go from there. That's very comfortable. You can also do, like, I think this might be a traditional pinch grip if you're going to be doing something like that. But yeah, all in all, very comfortable. You know, the titanium is very smooth. It's rounded edges. You know, no sharp angles or anything like that. If you haven't handled one before, you do have to get used to the indent right here, which is normally where the liner lock would go on his other models. But to me, it's super comfortable. It is, you know, for how big it is, or for how small it is, it definitely fits in the hand very, very well. So ergos are really good. Next up is carry. So obviously this is a slip joint. You know, you don't have a pocket clip on here or anything. And I believe that Jacob was having QSP make the slip joint slips. I can't talk today. Slips. And I think these are included with the order. I will click on one of the listings down here. It doesn't say on the website, but I think these were included with it, which was a nice touch. You know, you see people doing that more often. Like for every Jack Wolf knife you get, it comes with a slip joint, or a slip joint. Obviously it comes with a slip joint. That's a knife, Alex. It comes with a slip. That's just a nice touch because, you know, a lot of other, you know, companies in the past, you get the knife, and then if you wanted to get a slip, you'd have to get another one made. But this one has, if you guys can see, it's kind of, you know, I don't know if you guys are going to pick that up or not, but there's a Q right here for Qvist Bladeworks. It's really, you know, kind of embossed into the leather, but this is a nice size. One thing you have to be careful with, like tipping upside down, because the knife would, you know, fall out. But you know, you toss this in pocket. It's a very nice, small, compact size. You know, if you're used to carrying a wallet in your pocket, you know, you're gonna have no qualms with carrying this. But it's lightweight, you know, 2 ounces, and then with this, it's probably, you know, a combined total of like 3 ounces, give or take. But drops it in. It's nice leather. And I did see on the website, Northwoods Leatherworks Co., which I have a slip for my bear. Troy does awesome work. Jacob was doing also along with the pre-order, you could get a Northwood Leatherworks Co. slip for $35, which I would recommend doing, just because they're a little bit tighter, and they have the knife sticking up out of the slip because he angles it weird, like not weird, but he angles it. It doesn't have like the tabs up here, like the full back. The little bit of the knife is always exposed, which, granted, if you want your knife to be completely covered and be safe, you know, you can rock with this. But Jacob having Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks Co. do a pre-order along with the knives was very cool. And I'm sure, you know, if you happen to get one of these on a drop, if Jacob does one of those when they all come out, I'm sure you could get a hold of Troy and he would make you one. He makes, you know, very good slips, very good work. But all in all, carry, drop it in your pocket. You know, it's very lightweight. You know, you can't even really tell it's there until you need it. So that's a very good touch. But yeah, carry is pretty good. So that leads me to my final category of price point and what I recommend this knife. So the pre-order price was $119. So 120 bucks for a full titanium slip joint with 20 CV, you know, QSP made, great walk and talk, pretty solid ergos for how big it is. You know, this thing is just a pocket disappear, and then you also get a slip with it. So 120 bucks for that, I think that's a great deal, especially when you're, you know, 20 CV blade, that's a premium steel you're getting. So that was nice to see that Jacob did that. I can, you know, anything that I've had from QSP, from Qvist so far has been awesome. I really enjoyed Jacob's design language. I really enjoy his, you know, his aesthetic. I would show you my original variant, but I did sell that with the fat carbon scales. I sold that with a couple other cheaper knives because I wanted to get the variant PE3 that I had in for review, the prototype. So I sold that and a couple other ones to put that money towards that one, the PE3. I got an all blacked out one, so I'm really excited for that one. But I did not pre-order this just because, like I stated earlier, I'm not a huge slip joint guy. I actually just sold my bear. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier in the video if anyone was wondering why I wasn't showing the bear or the slip or anything like that. I just sold it. And that's because I am planning on getting a Jack Wolf Knives slip in the future, very soon sometime. But I don't know. I had other stuff going on, and like I said, it was around Christmas, so I just didn't pull the trigger. And it's not that I didn't like the knife, because I figured I would, and now that I've had it in hand, I do like it. But I don't know. I don't want to, spend a ton of money on slip joints just because that's not primarily what I carry. It's not primarily what I, am going to be using all the time. But I can definitely appreciate them, and I do think that this, like I said, is a fantastic design. It's a fantastic little package for $120 for this and the slip. Get out of here. That's a great deal. And now, according to the website, he has them listed for $139 for both of them. So that would make me think that he is going to be having a small drop of these when they come in. So I still think $140 for, again, full tie construction, 20 CV blade, lightweight, very usable, a nice thin grind. Also with a slip, I still think $140 is fantastic. As I stated earlier in the video, Jacob's website and his Instagram will be linked down in the description. Please go check him out. And if you're interested in picking one of these up, if you weren't able to get on the pre-order or if you missed it, definitely go, keep an eye out. Maybe even shoot Jacob a message. He's very personable. He's an awesome guy. We've chatted a few times on different things, and he's very open to criticism and very open to, or constructive criticism, I should say, when it comes to prototypes and everything like that. He's just a really good dude, and I would consider him an acquaintance. Definitely he's friendly. He's a very good guy is what I'm trying to get at. So sorry that was an awkward long ramble, but Jacob is just a very good human being, and he's the epitome of what we have in the knife community, and that is just full of great people and great human beings. So, but I'm gonna quit rambling. I think you guys got my point on this, and I was glad to have it in. Jacob, thank you so much for sending this to me. I do really appreciate it. He sent me this one. He sent me the. I think I've checked out everything so far from Qvist except for the Veritas, which he is still working with for, I believe he's having another OEM make that as like a dedicated design for that. But he just got the invert prototypes in, which is the, if you take the variant, I mean, obviously this is the Vanish, but if you take the variant and flip it, it has a drop point blade, so that'd be really cool. I'm assuming I'll probably check one of those out in the future if he doesn't mind me checking one out. But yeah, Jacob, thank you so much for sending me this. I really do appreciate it. I've really enjoyed carrying it and getting to know what a small slip joint is all about, and I think you killed it, dude. You really have a good product on your hands, and I can't wait to see what you do with it in the future. I cannot talk this morning, guys. I am sorry, but I'm going to wrap this up. This was my full overview / review of the Qvist Bladeworks variant Vanish prototype. Definitely be on the lookout for these on the website if you're interested in the upcoming months. I'm assuming he'll do a drop, but thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know down below. Are you guys a Qvist fan? Do you have any other products? Did you get it on the pre-order? Let me know down below. I like to hear what you guys have to say. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I will talk to you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.